Every single question I've ever had about these magnetic lashes, I had a very difficult time finding the answers to. So I'm going to be the one that answers all of those questions for you, especially the most important one, which is how long does this really last? I'm not going to over exaggerate on this either. Okay. So this one is an older one. This is about 3 weeks old. I'm going to show you what they look like compared to a brand new one. This right here is my 8th order of this stuff. So I feel that I'm pretty much an expert when it comes to these magnetic lashes. Another thing that I want to note is I cannot do the glue. I have tried everything. There's these beautiful lashes that I see and I just want to be able to do it. And it doesn't matter. Even if I have the right tools, I cannot get the lashes to stay properly or to go on properly. These right here are the only ones that do work for me. I'm going to show you how we set it up on the stuff, but I'm also going to show you the difference of how it looks when it's 3 weeks old compared to brand new. Just so you can see, brand new, still in the packaging. I'm going to open this up. And this one is my 3-week-old pair. I don't go longer than 3 weeks, and that's saying that I use them Monday through Friday, skipping the weekends, because there's always going to be about 2 days out of the week that I don't wear these, okay? So I'm talking 5, 10, 15 days. 15 days is how much this seems to last for me. Here is my old pair, and you can see how it starts to look. You can see that the hairs are starting to go in slightly different directions. The magnetics don't seem to stick that well. I mean, the bottom one still looks good, but this top one here, you can see some of the strands are kind of going to another side. I would say that this one still looks like it's okay. I could probably get a couple more uses out of this. You can see in the tray that it says right and left. I'll be honest, it doesn't matter. If these get interchanged at some point, it's not gonna make any difference at all. So it doesn't really matter what side it's on. Here's the bottom left one, still looks all right. And then you've got the top part of that left lash. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it starts to get some white residue on it, like right over here. And that white residue, it's actually this enhancing hold serum. This is kind of like a glue, but it's not as strong as glue that you would put on glue-on lashes. So it's not something like when I try to use glue-on lashes, my eyelid will sometimes get stuck to the top of my eye for like 2 days. And I know I'm supposed to use makeup remover and all that, but I just don't have time for that. Anyways, this one, it comes right off. I don't have an issue with that stickiness, but this does help the lashes stay on. So make sure that you use them. Another thing I wanted to point out with this one is if you look closely, you might be able to see that it's broken, okay? It's broken right there. It's hanging on by some threads and I could still make this work. If I wanted to wear these today, I could. But when they start to get like this, I just want to change them out and get the other pair. So I do order about 2 a month. Okay, now let's talk about cleaning. After each use, when I take these off, I just take a Q-tip and I just run it on the strip of the lash, just like that. I do not wet the Q-tip. And the reason for this is because I used to wet the Q-tip, but I noticed that if I wet the Q-tip, the lashes actually go bad after 2 weeks. So I get a longer wear if I'm not putting any water on these lashes and I just give it a nice little wipe. After I'm done wearing them for the day and I give them that wipe, they're magnetic, so I just stick them right on top of each other, stick them right into their tray. Then I close the tray and put it back into its box with the tool and my cleaning tool. That's it. Now let's look at the brand new ones. Here they are. These have a lot more of a bounce to them now. They don't have any sort of a white residue on them. When I'm ready to put them on, I simply try my best to pull them apart. Then I use the tool. You've got a downside and you have an upside. So this right here is going to be the downside, and I'm simply just going to place it right on top of the magnet, just like so. Then the top side, when I first did this, I don't know if I'm dyslexic or something, but it was difficult for me to figure out. Then the top side, you always want the lashes facing up, right? Even the bottom lashes, they have to face up because you want to have nice looking lashes. So I just know that they're facing up. That's when I know to stick the magnets right there. That's how that works. See it? All right, let's go put these on. Okay, we're going to put this on the lash. It's gonna look funny because I'm looking at my phone camera, but for you guys, it's it's gonna look like I'm looking somewhere completely different. So I did put this on to my lash. I wanna leave it there for about 30 seconds while it kind of gets a little bit, it starts to dry a little bit. That's how I want it, so that it grabs onto the lashes. I don't want it super wet. I've got the lash on the upside, I've got the lash on the downside. So, wow, this is weird doing it on a phone. I hope this is gonna work. Perfect. Okay, so I got that side on. But when I lift up my eye, I notice that this side is not on properly. So I'm going to take them off, set it back onto the tool, and I'm gonna try that again. It took me quite a few tries to get this right because I really do suck at lashes. Like, I'm not over exaggerating when I say that. And even still, sometimes now it can take some time for me to get it and I'll have to do it again, but it's a lot easier than when I first started. So I try to get it as close to the top of the lashes as I can. I'm not supposed to be blinking when I do that, but it's what happened. And there we go. That's much better. So when I lift it up, I can see that it is placed properly. Now let's do the other one. Lash glue first. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Let it dry for 30 seconds. Okay, I gotta kind of use some of my phone, some of my other mirror that I have the phone set up on. Get it as close to the back of the lash line. Push up. Okay. And yeah, that is pretty perfect. Okay, you can see that it's very close to the back of my lash line. Okay, so let's take another look at them so you can see. And then I'm gonna look down as well. Look up. You know, I've tried a lot of different magnetic lashes in the past, and these ones look the most realistic and beautiful. They're not too thick, which I really like. They have that thin look and they really do curl up. I do not add any mascara or anything like that. I don't put mascara on my own lashes. I get compliments on these all the time. And I think that the reason why I really love them is because it just makes it so much easier for girls who cannot do the glue if their life depended on it. This is such a great option for girlies like us that can't make the other ones work. So highly recommend them.